This is the concierge, sir.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Concierge Confidential. I'm your host, Brian Ortega, and we're back for another episode of the pod. Had a really fun time last Saturday. I ended up going out, and I took you guys with me. You guys followed along on my Instagram page, Concierge Confidential _LV, and really utilized a lot of the questions. I was really pleased by all of the feedback that I got when I was out. You guys asked really great questions, and I know the answers to most of them. And a lot of other, like, you guys posed a lot of good questions to me. One of them being probably the most popular one was, when are we doing a happy hour episode? And I have to tell you guys, we're not ready for that one yet. I do have to do a little bit more research in terms of which strip properties offer happy hour, which places are going to be, what times that are open, just because I like to be able to give you those details as we go along. And again, I'm happy on the strip. Like, there's happy hours like off the strip, which is cool. And again, all of my locals who like listening, awesome. But like, this pod, just so everybody knows, this podcast is for people mostly traveling to Las Vegas, which is kind of funny because the episode I'm going to do today is my favorite off-strip hotels and casinos to visit. So I think it's funny that I'm kind of telling you, like, this is for people who, go to the strip in downtown, and we're going to go off the strip, which is kind of funny. But with that being said, lots of really great questions. Probably one of my favorite questions. Actually, before I get to that, I'll go ahead and set up the episode. We're going to be doing all of my favorite off-strip hotel and casinos, highlighting some of the things why I like those particular properties. It's not in an order. It's just some of my favorites, some of the ones I don't like to go to, and we'll cover all that stuff coming up on the pod. So stay tuned. This is the off-strip property episode of Concierge Confidential. Okay, everybody, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So getting back to what I was, saying before the break is that really great questions. One of my favorite questions was, what's my favorite MGM hotel, which is quite a few, obviously, and what was the best drink I ever got comped? And really the answer to the comped question was somebody made me a Godfather cocktail, which that was really good. And I was slightly inebriated when I was answering these questions, which is a great time to answer questions on the internet. But I have had some cocktails at Wakuda that were comped, which was quite nice. And they treat me really nice there, actually, because they keep records, which is always cool. And they're always nice to me when I go back there. But I do like to try a lot of different cocktails at Wakuda because it's inside of a restaurant, it's sort of secluded, and they have a lot of different spirits to choose from, and they're all very, very competent. Really, really like it. I would say places like Collins Bar, which is at Fontainebleau, are really good at like making different unique cocktails, all really fantastic bartenders. Like a lot of them are former competition bartenders. And then you also have bartenders who are like in the arts district at Nocturno, who are more than capable to create cocktails for you. The only problem with Nocturno is that they're very new. So they're still really getting a lot of the unique different spirits that they can, pull from. So it's kind of a limited selection of the type of spirits they have, but they have a lot of different unique types of things that they could put together. That really, it's not like a handicap. It's just like sometimes you want like a more elevated spirit, and they may not have it. But again, they're a new property, and sometimes that's not really something that they need right now. It's just sort of a note that I have. Also, for those of you that work at Nocturno, love you guys. But I have to say, and maybe because I'm not hip, but the last few times I've gone in there, the music has not been my favorite. And again, I might just be square and not know like what's hip, but it's a little too like eclectic and like sort of like back catalog of a CD or record, where not enough vibes. Like I'm a big vibes guy, and the reason I love going to Delilah's, which one like people watching is fantastic, but I just like the music they play in there. It like really hits like what I like to listen to, and that's one of the reasons I like going there. Is like the view's good, the drinks are expensive, but they're good too, but like the vibes are just right, and I think that's maybe one thing that Nocturno, I think it needs. Many people might think it's just perfect, but just the music selection maybe like not my vibes, but people who might be cooler than me might like it better. But it was a really fun night. The answer to that question, which I sort of danced around, was Aria is probably my least favorite MGM property. When it comes to like, it's not handicapped by being an older property. It's not handicapped by being in a bad location. Like MGM Grand is a huge hotel, opened in 1993. And I would say like Aria is better than MGM, but like it's newer. So there are a few handicaps to being MGM Grand. They have lots of great restaurants, which is nice, but they're just very large. But like Aria doesn't have an excuse. They are a new hotel. I mean, they were built in 2008. Excuse me. They were opened in 2008, and they have like all this capability of being a great place. It's a great place for like exclusivity. Like it actually feels more intimidating to go to the Aria to try to eat dinner somewhere than it is to go to the Wynn to try to eat dinner somewhere. At the Wynn, yes. If you go to like Delilah's, it's going to feel like a little intimidating because they have a security guard and the hostess stand on the outside. So it might be a little bit scary to go inside. But like that's one hotel, that's one restaurant. Almost every single restaurant at the Aria is built to make you not want to eat there, which I know sounds harsh, but it is very true. I have a really hard time just being able to walk into restaurants at the Aria. And again, I am a big proponent of like making a reservation, but like as a single person, there needs to be more accessibility for people at the Aria to try to go, eat in their restaurants. They have great restaurants. They have, Carbone. They have the Steakhouse, which I'm forgetting the name right now off the top of my head. And then they also have Javier's, which is really good. So Jean-Georges, that's the name of the steakhouse. But like, yeah, just be a little bit more accessible for, people who want to eat at restaurants. So yeah, Aria was my answer. Anyways, so moving off of that particular conversation, which loved it. I'll be doing a lot more of those. If you didn't follow along, I ended up going to Fontainebleau. Went to Fontainebleau for pasta. Ended up having the short rib pasta over at Mother Wolf. And then I also helped a couple next to me that had never been there before. And I have to say, like, eating at Mother Wolf, you definitely need to like have been there before because, ordering off the menu is tough because everything's in Italian. And I think they like their food. Don't get the salad. Don't get salads. Like, in general, guys. At restaurants in Las Vegas, don't get a salad. Get something else. Unless it's a steakhouse that has really great ranch dressing. This is me personally. Don't get the salad. It's super expensive. Don't do it. But from there, ended up going to Delilah's, which is down the road. Got in, was able to. I stood at the bar that day just because there was nobody. There was no seats because it's Saturday. And like, don't be mean. Don't be a D, if you will. My mom listens to the pod. She says stop cussing so much. Which, who knows? This could be a long pod, but. I had this lady walked in and she was super angry that there wasn't any chairs. And I even explained, like, it's Saturday, like it's busy, like up here they don't have chairs and yada, yada, yada. And she left. She's like, let's go to Cipriani's instead, which is another like LA like restaurant. And it's like, it's so awesome that you guys came all the way to Vegas to eat at the two Los Angeles based restaurants in the hotel. So do your thing, man. But it was neither here nor there. Great night. Really fantastic. Really fun. Talked to a lot of people. So let's get into our episode, which we're talking about a lot of our local properties. So we have this company called Station Casinos, which Station Casinos basically own about 7 or 8 properties around the Las Vegas Valley. I might have just gave them too many. So what is it? Boulder City, Boulder Station, Sunset Station, Red Rock Canyon, or Red Rock Casino. They don't have station in their name. Durango, Green Valley Ranch, and I think they might have 1 or 2 more. Palace Station, and then something else. Anyways, so again, guys, I tried my best. So all these are Station Casinos, and most of them are similar, but some of them do stand apart. So One of the ones that is probably one of the favorite of a lot of people, especially if you live in Summerlin, is Red Rock Hotel and Casino. And Spa. So Red Rock is beautiful on the inside. It has a beautiful movie theater, Regal Cinema, which includes an IMAX theater. They also have a bowling alley, really, really popular. It's also a wonderful little casino. They have a couple different craps tables. They do have a lot of table games, obviously. They also have many restaurants. It used to be where they had Blue Ribbon Sushi, which I believe they still have. They do have a Mexican restaurant there. They also have a wonderful steakhouse. I think it's called T-Bones, is really, really popular. They have a wonderful old school cafe, which is open 24 hours. We need more of those. And of course, a beautiful pool and a beautiful spa as well. Really, really fantastic spa. And it's really great that it's located right next to downtown Summerlin, which is an outdoor shopping center where you're able to go eat lunch, eat dinner, walk around. They also typically have events there. And it's also within walking distance of the practice arena for the Vegas Golden Knights and the Las Vegas Aviators. So it's well situated around other things in that area. And the rooms there are actually quite nice. It's very much like Las Vegas Strip resort style quality when it comes to their hotel rooms. They also have a daycare for children, which I don't know if they call it a daycare. I think they call it like a play place or something. But my brother's actually left his kids there, not indefinitely. Like he went back and picked them up, but yes, he's actually taken his kids there, and they have a really great time. And I would say that is a very good property for families because it has a lot of things around it and also things inside of it as well. So I would highly recommend Red Rock Hotel and Casino. It's also within a pretty good distance drive of the Las Vegas Strip. So if you wanted to visit and you wanted to stay at Red Rock and then actually go to the Strip, it's probably going to be about a 20-minute drive, which that's essentially anything in Las Vegas is about 20 minutes. I would give it 25-minute drive if you're going from Red Rock, straight down Charleston all the way to the Strip, somewhat near the Strip. It would probably take you that long. You can also take the freeway, which is a very popular way to do it. But multiple ways to get to and from Red Rock to the Strip. But typically, the pricing is going to be a little bit more elevated than other places like, Sunset Station or Boulder Station, of course. So the only drawback is, again, it is the distance from the Las Vegas Strip, but usually if you're going to be going and staying at Red Rock, that's the reason you are staying at Red Rock, for that reason. So again, Red Rock, really fantastic. Let's go to another station property. Actually, let's switch it up a little bit. So I'm going to tell you guys about a hotel that is actually near my place. It's called the M Hotel and Casino. I think they also have a spa. I think M has a spa. Pretty sure. But M is actually a very new wave looking local property. It really is designed like a strip hotel that was built in the mid 2000s, 2005, 2006. It's all glass. It's blue. They have a really nice restaurant on top of the hotel. It really is just one tower, or one long tower, but they're actually building a second one. Beautiful pool area. Really great for locals. It's really fantastic for locals that they can actually go to M and actually utilize the pool area where they just pay a daily fee and can go to the pool, which is great. They also have concerts in the evening. Not every evening. I believe Ludacris was the last really famous person that performed at their pool, and I've heard it was great. Well, depending on what you think great is, but really great restaurants. They have a fantastic pasta bar that is there. Or I say pasta bar. It's a pasta restaurant. Can't remember the name of it, but there's only one of them, and they actually have really approachable pasta. It's also cooked to order. You can see them making it for you. It's right next to their steakhouse, which is, pretty good. But I like their pasta place better. And loved it. They also have one thing is, and I forgot to talk about this about Red Rock, but if you go over to the M Resort, terrible sports book. If you're somebody that's coming to Las Vegas to watch sports or come for Super Bowl Sunday, sorry, not Super Bowl Sunday, but any other Sunday where there's going to be a lot of sports going on, I do not recommend at all. Do not recommend at all the M Resort. Terrible sports book. They do have a sports bar, which is a Raiders themed sports bar because they're an official hotel of the Las Vegas Raiders. That place is okay, but in terms of watching sports, the M is bottom of the list. I'd probably watch this at a gas station more than I'd want to watch a football game at the M Resort. So M Resort, if you are listening, you need a better sports book. The problem is that they're, I believe, William Hill sports book, and it is not good. Really gone down. And I've been in that sports book before. It was a great sports book. They had a lot of TVs. It was very vibrant, really cool little room. But now it's terrible. So do not go to the M if you're trying to watch sports. So speaking of Red Rock, which I forgot to mention their sports book, fantastic sports book. Beautiful, airy, bright. The way that I like sports books. Big wall of TVs. Has the boards up just for you need them. They also do horse racing there as well. That's also nice for those of you who like to follow horse racing. So would highly recommend that. But definitely stay away from M for any sportsbook stuff. So let's actually keep moving along here. So let's go to the Green Valley Ranch. So Green Valley Ranch is located in a little closer towards Henderson, but not all the way in Henderson. We're talking like Sunset Station is like Henderson. But I would say, by the way, the two hotels that I recommended, Red Rock and M, highly recommend staying. Totally fine. Green Valley Ranch, same thing. The vibes you get at Green Valley Ranch is a little bit more like retired people, especially during the daytime. That's actually going to be one of the main things about a lot of the local places. The middle of the day is going to be dominated by retirees, especially M, especially Green Valley Ranch, because that is very much retirement city. But at nighttime, fantastic place to meet a lot of people who are in their 40s, their 50s. They're trying to have a good time, but they don't want to go to the Strip. You'll find a lot of these bars there. They have the Drop Bar, which is cool. Like if you've never been to a bar on the Strip, because then the ones on the Strip are 10 times cooler. But again, we're talking off the Strip, guys. Again, I'm trying to sort of meet you in the middle here. But Green Valley Ranch, fantastic restaurants. I think they have one of the best restaurant collections of a lot of the local casinos. I think that their restaurant collection is better than M. I think their restaurant collection really rivals Red Rock. They also actually opened, I believe, a Blue Ribbon Sushi inside of Green Valley Ranch, which was nice. Didn't feel as special though as the one actually in Red Rock, but that's just it is what it is. Red Rock also has Lucille's, which that's nice. But if you actually go to Green Valley Ranch, they do have a Battaglia, which Battaglia is a wonderful Italian restaurant. Really great for, brunch if you're going to be with a group of ladies. It's also great for a date. I've gone on, I think 1 or 2 dates there. They have a Pizza Rock, which is really, really approachable if you have kids or you just wanted to have something very simple. Pizza Rock can be kind of expensive for one person, but for a couple it is perfect pricing. Then they also have a 24-hour cafe. Love 24-hour cafes. They also have a movie theater, which I haven't been to that theater in a while because it's also Regal. And then they also have a Fat Burger on the inside, which is great, along with the rest of their food court. Again, very approachable. They do have a Borracha, which is Mexican cuisine. And they do have a steakhouse, which is, I'm escaping the name for me. It's not T-Bones, it's something else. What's his name? What was the name of... Not Oscar. I forgot the name of it. Sorry, guys. Forgot the name of the steakhouse over at Green Valley Ranch. But, go with me. But overall, really, really, doable tables. They've gotten more expensive in the past. They've gotten more expensive, recently. Used to be able to find a nice $10 table over at Sunset, but really it's going to be $15 or more, which kind of sucks. But usually you can find craps tables for around $10 or $15 most of the time here. The only thing is, a lot of the local casinos used to be able to get really good deals in terms of gambling, but a lot of places now have become much more expensive, even trickling down to the local casinos. There is one place that is on my list that is going to be a great place for anybody who's a beginner or wants a lower limit tables. Last but not least, let's talk about the sportsbook at Green Valley Ranch. Green Valley Ranch Sportsbook, phenomenal. It's really great. I wish the TVs were a little bit bigger, but it's really big, airy, great bar. Love the bar at Green Valley Ranch just because it's sort of like this sort of oval style that you can look out or you can look into the sports book, and then it has TVs above the area itself. You can actually look through and then, to where the board, the tellers are. They also have horse racing. Another thing about them that I don't like, this is actually sports, this is station casinos in general, is that they do not put out the sheets, which that was a big deal, in the sports betting world. We want sheets because they don't offer as many things in person as they do on their apps, which you're going to see that a lot of local places really pushing you to use apps for their for sports betting. So Just depends, where you go. But Green Valley Ranch, great option if you're trying to stay somewhere that is off of the strip. It's right next to the freeway, the 215. That does give you access, to get you to the Las Vegas Strip. A lot of these local places, you want to be somewhere close to a freeway, which most of them are, just because they have to be able to have access to people coming and going, wherever they're trying to get to. So that is Green Valley Ranch. Let's do one that is not a station casino, just because there's a lot of station casinos in town. Let's talk about my actual local casino that I go to. It's funny because everybody has like their local casino that's sort of like their go-to for like, the movies, bowling, cheap gambling. Like if you have a parent in town, they want to go, play some slots. You have to have like your local casino you go to, because that's why you have local casinos. Local casinos are made for you to be able to go to quickly. If you drink a little bit, it's not too far of a drive back to your house. That's what local casinos are made for. So free parking as well, which is quite nice. Man, I used to park valet at South Point. And then it just became a thing, like I just want to leave as fast as possible, so then I started self-parking. But let's talk about South Point. South Point is my local casino. Love South Point. Very spoiled where I live. I'm actually like within driving distance of 3 different casinos. So Green Valley Ranch, South Point, M Resort. Honestly, I would never go to M, but I'd go to Green Valley Ranch or South Point. But South Point, one of the best, I would honestly say one of the best local casinos in Las Vegas because of the pricing. It's very, very approachable. They have a beautiful 24-hour cafe. When I say beautiful, it's fine, but to me, it's great. Love it. They make a great BLT. I can get in and out of there about for like, $15 for a BLT, a soda, and all that other good stuff. Great salads. Again, they have great specials inside of the Coronado Cafe. They have a steak special after midnight. I think it's only like $3. It's really, 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 really popular. People see this line like out the door trying to do it. They have bingo in there. They have a movie theater in there. They have a championship bowling alley. And they also have a great casino floor, wonderful sports book. They have 2 sides of their sports book. They have the sports book for the sports, so football, baseball, hockey, all that good stuff. Which is also 24 hours, which is great, 24-hour sports book. Then you have the horse racing area, which is on the other end, which that's just horse racing. Obviously, it only runs when there's horse races going on, which my dad loves that place. My dad, huge proponent of South Point. Actually, he wants to go to South Point so much, we have to tell him, no, we don't want to go to South Point on this particular trip, because all he wants to do is go eat the split pea soup. By the way, happy birthday, Dad. I'm recording this on my dad's birthday. So I said I had birthday him like 5 times today. So hopefully, I made up for a lot of it. But yeah, that's it. But no, yeah, South Point, really fantastic. They have a poker room for those who want poker rooms, which is, becoming rarer and rarer. And again, lower limit gambling here. You can actually find $5 blackjack, $5 craps during the daytime, sometimes on the weekends. This place is constantly full. And again, because it's very approachable in terms of gambling. And they also have a really good selection of slot machines. You'd have to ask my mom to see if they're actually that good slot machines. I don't think she's ever hit like a super jackpot here, but she's done pretty well here over the years, which is, par for the course. But also the rooms are quite large, which is really nice. They also have a lot of rodeos here, a lot of like equine events where you're going to find, roping, rodeo stuff, show horses. They have the Budweiser Clydesdales here when they come into town. So overall, South Point is a fantastic property. Great for if you're on a budget. Right next to the I-15 that can get you up, the strip to the strip itself, Las Vegas Boulevard. But South Point, really fantastic, really, really great property, which, I just said, I tell my dad I don't want to go there. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, this is what a local property should be: approachable, doable, price efficient, and offer a couple deals for you. So really great option. Really, really like it. So let's move. Let's go to... These are going to be sort of fringe. So these are going to be close to the strip, but they are kind of considered local in terms of because of their pricing and their clientele that they are sort of like shooting for. And let's start with the Palms. So the Palms itself would actually be considered like a strip hotel, maybe like 15 years ago. Like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, the Palms was the hippest, coolest joint. It's where all the young people went. It's where you had the Playboy Club. You also had, they have a nightclub there. Totally forgot what the nightclub's name was. But they had the Ghost Bar there. They also had, all these cool, like, very hip restaurants were in there. Like Bobby Flay had a restaurant there. They also had another, like, barbecue guy was in there as well. And really tried that Scotch 80, which is it's still there, a very popular steakhouse. And they have a movie theater on the inside. And the thing is like in the past couple of years, like they've gotten bought by a couple different companies. They're now owned by, I think, a California Indian tribe now owns it. I think the Mohegan, I forgot the name, sorry. But they really cater to a lot of locals. It's very local based. Most of the minimums for their blackjack is going to be $10 or $15. I haven't played there in a very long time, to be honest. But usually you can find a $10 table there. They have lots of deals. People are always picking up, their their like free like knife set on the inside. They have a good movie theater, underrated movie theater. It's the Brendan Palms movie theater, and I've seen a movie there. I think Avatar I saw in there, and I think I also saw Jurassic Park Rebirth or Jurassic World Rebirth in there. Fantastic movie theater. Great sound, great picture, nice comfortable seats. The popcorn is okay, but really good. Really good movie theater. Very comfortable. Highly recommend the movie theater at Brendan Palms if you can't get into places like the IMAX screen at Town Square or any of the Cinemark XD theaters at like South Point. Great movie theater. OK food court. They also have OK food as well. Again, like I mentioned earlier, they used to have a lot of like really high-end celebrity chefs. Now I'm not a huge fan of the food options at the Palms, but really great bar on the top. I think it's actually still called the Ghost Bar. It's gone through a couple different ideations, but it's the Ghost Bar on the top of the hotel. Beautiful view of the Strip, probably the best view of the Strip other than maybe like Rio, but we're not talking about Rio. Do not go there. I'm sorry for those of you Rio listeners or Rio stans. I will not be walking inside of the Rio probably until it gets imploded. Moving on, if you go up the street, you'll actually get to Palace Station. Right next door is another hotel to Palms. Let me actually pull that up because if you go there, because it's funny because it's right across the street. But right across the street from the Palms is a place that you would consider a local place, and that is the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino. And probably the only reason to go on the Gold Coast, I don't think I've ever actually walked inside of the Gold Coast, which I can't give you like a yes or no on the property, but it is quite local. But Gold Coast is home of, I think it's a dim sum restaurant that people like swear by. So I need to pull it up because I want to tell you guys about it. I haven't eaten there, so I can't tell you, if it's good or not. But I know a lot of people say it's good. So I just want to sort of like, it's such a funny name. It is really a hilarious. By the way, there's a picture of pizza like on the website that doesn't even look good. Like it's bad when the thing on the menu, like on your website, does not look good. But it's so funny, guys. I've never been inside of this hotel. It's probably one of the only hotels I've never been in Las Vegas. But it's called Ping Pang Pong. Ping Pang Pong. That is their Chinese restaurant. Sick name. Love the name. Ping Pang Pong. Sick. So that is Gold Coast. I have been to Palace Station, which Palace Station is along the I-15. You can pass it on your way to downtown, or if you're coming from the north, going through the Strip. And Palace Station, pretty nice on the inside. They have a really great food court, like top tier. They have a Panda. They have a Wingstop, which makes it top tier altogether. They have They have a Mexican restaurant called Lindo Muchican, which is very, very popular in town. Really tasty, fantastic. Nice little tables, smaller casino in terms of the actual table game selection, and also a much smaller sportsbook. Sportsbook is nice though. It's very clean on the inside. They do have a Cinnabara movie theater, which is where you can eat like actual food while you're watching a movie. Also not a fan of those places. Also might be relaunching a movie podcast coming up soon, just because I want to add more work for myself. But is it work if you love it? But that place also has a really great bar and like a sports bar, which does pretty good wings, not bad. But that's Palace Station, which is pretty good. There's a lot of places in the north of town that I don't really go to often because I don't live on that part of town, which is pretty normal. I mean, I've been to my goodness, like the Cannery, which that place I think had a movie theater in it. I think it had a 4DX movie theater where like the seats move. So that was interesting. And where else did I go? There was another one up north that I've been to, but can't remember off the top of my head. But one more hidden favorite is the... It's not Suncoast. Yeah, it's the Suncoast. Absolutely love the Suncoast. The Suncoast is actually like on your way from Summerlin going around like the 215 where you connect to like the other northern freeway. And that is like an older spot, like really like lower limit. Like you're going to be like finding $10 or $15 tables there. They also have a Dupar's on the inside, which is cool. And really fantastic movie theater. Love the movie theater. Really great options in terms of like, what do you call them? Popcorn buckets. And because you get like really cool designer popcorn buckets at that particular movie theater. I have no idea why, because maybe nobody goes there. So I got a really cool like gladiator like movie hat. As you can see, I go to a lot of casinos because I actually like the movies. But they do have a Dupar's there, which is an old school like cafe, which I think is like licensing the name because I think there's actually only one Dupar's left in America, in California. And then obviously the one in Las Vegas. And really great pancakes. Love it. It's very, very busy all the time. If you get up too late, it's going to be too long to actually get a seat inside of Dupar's. Also, redid their sports book, and it is fabulous. Like, I went through there. I was like, this was not here last time I was here. Great setup for a sports book. Really nice bar that sits off to the side. You can look through, and you can see all the games. Very bright. Love it. Big critiquer of sports books. Number one person. I need sports books to look correct. But yeah, really fantastic. Suncoast is great. Also, it's within driving distance of like the Rampart Casino, which is another casino which is connected to the JW Marriott, which right next to that is Tivoli Village, lots of great shopping, lots of great things to go in and eat. Really hip, really young sort of location. Very affluent. You're going to find a lot of affluent people at Tivoli Village. It's also, they have an El Dorado Cantina, which is like super sexy and like really great for, young people to mix and mingle. Unless you want to go to the really gritty one, which is at, Sapphire Strip Club, which is right next door. But the one inside of Tivoli Village is actually quite nice. I did want to finish up with Sunset Station, which I don't talk about that one very often, just because I haven't been there in a very long time. When I used to come out here a lot with my parents for, what do you call them? Baseball tournaments, we would stay at Sunset Station a lot. And they also have a fat burger, which my dad was super excited that we would stay there and like we'd have a fat burger. The movie theater is also okay. But really nice casino. It actually has, very approachable tables. They also have, I think in their center bar, they have like $1 margaritas or $2 margaritas that you can get in the center bar at specific times of the day. That might be like an old thing. So, don't get mad at me if you go to Sunset and they don't have it any there at the center bar. Really great sports book as well. Really open, airy, great for UFC events, great for really any event. But Sunset Station, good little sports book, big. That's what we're hoping for. Sports books, we like them to be big and airy because you can get all the smoke out. But again, table games, very approachable. You're getting a good mix of middle-aged, older people. That's what you're going to get at Sunset Station. So I ran through a lot of local places, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that little sort of romp through the city. Oh, my goodness. We almost missed one. Durango, the newest of all of the locals. Durango, really fantastic. You're going to find a lot of young people there. It's very bright. It has a very unique design where it's really just like one gigantic room, but it has like these big giant windows on either side, which lets in a lot of natural light, which is very unique for Las Vegas, which we're getting away from the old school ways of how we design casinos, which It's always kind of fun to kind of go over. But really bright on the inside, cool colors, very desert, like Palm Springs. Really cute outfits for the cocktail waitresses. I always remember that. Nice sports book. You do have to be playing video poker, I believe, at their bar to sit at that particular bar, which is a little annoying. Or, blackjack. Great TVs, very bright. And they also have an outdoor area called the patio, which I can never get the right temperature. They have heaters. They have, the misters. They have a really nice bar. They have a happy hour. They have a happy hour from 3 to 6, only on a particular portion of the patio area. I think the beer ends up being like $5. So yeah, it's actually not bad. Crown and Coke is not included in that particular happy hour menu, where it was a $15 Crown and Coke, which that's a little expensive. They also have Nico's, which is a very, very popular steakhouse. Also very, very expensive. And then they also have... I went there. If you go on my Instagram page, it's Concierge Confidential, is where I have the latest for that. Miho. That's the name of it. So Miho, really fun on the inside. Food's pretty good, kind of mid, but they do have a really fantastic speakeasy on the inside, which is just to the right of like the main entrance. Also great for photos, so it's really cool. Very dark inside that speakeasy though. They also have something called what's the name of the bar? Gotta find it now. Sorry guys. Durango. By the way, Durango's on the 215 as you go west, and it's going to be on Durango Drive, obviously. But one second. Hang tight. I didn't like this bar because it's very cliquey, so I didn't like hanging out there because, as you guys know, I'm kind of like, a solitary animal. The Bel Air Lounge. That's the name of it. The Bel Air Lounge, which I went. Drinks are fine. They're okay. It opens up to their Bel Air outdoor area, which is their pool area, which locals love to go there. You'll always find all the girls who don't have real jobs hanging out there on Thursday and just hanging by the pool because that's what they do who work from home. They get to go to the pool and do nothing. So anyways, that was the Durango. That was our local romp through the city of Las Vegas. Hopefully that was helpful. I know I kind of did it at sort of a faster speed. Sorry, that's the way that I talk. If those of you who are trying to catch up with this, just listen on normal speed so you don't have to go 1.5 speeds. But thank you so much, guys, for listening. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be going out this weekend, but if I do, I'll let you guys know. If you see me out in town, come up and say hello. But remember, keep it confidential.